Everyone. Today I'm going to talk about drowsiness and how they induce drowsiness to trick the brain into accepting fabricated and falsified memory references and sleep deprivation and how it works and why they do it. Very good information I came across. And I'm going to read a Bible verse first. And man, you got to be very careful. Anything, you have to remember, anything can trigger a TI. Sometimes my face itches during a video, and due to being called a perp for scratching my face or clearing my throat when I'm talking. You can be called a perp just for doing that. And I know people's been conditioned to think that stuff. So anytime somebody does it, they think it's a perp. But man, you really got to be careful, even doing videos. Because if I'm in a video and I got to scratch my face, I could scratch my face. Somebody could call me a perp, or I could read a Bible verse and say the wrong word and somebody think I'm a perp. But I'm still going to continue doing what I do, and I'm not going to stop exposing this program and how it works. Well, here we go. Today's verse, and then I will start the information that I came across. Um, and today's verse comes from James 1:13 and 14. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he himself tempt anyone. But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. Then, when his desire is conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. Okay. And I'm not going to stop saying the Bible. I respect everybody's beliefs. At the same time, I'm not ashamed of my belief. So, drowsiness is used to trick brain into accepting fabricated and falsified memory references and motivational impulses. Been going through that a lot lately. If I'm planning on spending time with my girlfriend, a lot of times, or any kind of constructive thing I'm supposed to do, they'll put me in a state of drowsiness and make me fall asleep. And it's easier to layer in false memories and control the victim, because anything that reduces a person's energy level and vitality makes that person more susceptible to mind control technologies. The victim is so disoriented and drowsy he cannot recognize modification of his active memory and fight back against the system's influence. Been dealing with that a lot. Drowsiness followed by fabricated and falsified memory references and motivational impulses. They'll put stuff in a looping pattern over and over for cognitive containment. So sleep deprivation quickly renders someone. On the other hand, sleep deprivation is just as critical for the mind control people, and it renders someone open to mental mind control suggestion while reducing resistance to remote neural attacks of the system's influences. Keeping someone awake with little to no sleep for days at a time is a highly effective way to break the will of a mind control victim, causing a whole range of undesirable ill effects from cognitive impairment, psychosis, breaking down the immune system, and even causing heart defects and cardiovascular problems. The more you deprive someone of sleep, the more likely they are to suffer memory loss, confusion, and hallucinations. It depatterns the mind's clearing the neural pathways of the brain, not only erasing Christian content or whatever the victim's concentrating upon, but it prepares the victim's brain for the next wave of programming. The DIA, CIA torture, trauma-based mind control, torture, interrogation, sleep deprivation tactics are used to bring about a change in psychological state. Although the effects on the body's immune system and vital functions undoubtedly causes additional damage, lack of sleep brings about a number of neurobiological effects affecting reaction time, memory, and cognitive functions. It also has the effect of quickly bringing about hypnagogic hallucinations, feelings of altered reality caused by the incursion of REM activity into wakefulness. Prolong these conditions and it can lead to severe moral and emotional impairment and ultimately psychosis. Sleep deprivation torture accomplishes objective memory loss during the interrogation and induces hallucinations, which help with the interrogation process. And the behavior modification and programming, it is necessary too. It's easier to layer in false memories and control the victim, because anything that reduces a person's energy level and vitality makes a person more susceptible to mind control technologies. The victim is so disoriented and drowsy he cannot recognize modification of his active memory and fight back against the system's influence. The technology they use then on the sleep deprived target is called EEG cloning or heterodyning. The brain patterns, electromagnetic signals cloned onto the target may be cataloged brain patterns stored in computers through live signals from a real person's brain could also be transmitted to the target. The handler, clone member of the hive mind teams, communicates with the target through a technology for transmitting voices into people's head, which goes by many names, including voice to skull, synthetic telepathy, and the microwave hearing and the fray effect, which they've been bombarding me with that constantly lately. A bunch of different voices, chatterbox conversations going on in my head at the same time. It's crazy. The communication may also be accomplished via EEG heterodyning, which involves remapping of the auditory cortex of the human brain. Other technologies for transmitting voices include ultrasonic heterodyning and conduction techniques. It is much easier to achieve all this when the victim's brain is in a constant state of functional disorientation through sleep deprivation torture and other forms of sensory deprivation. They don't allow the victim to sleep for several days straight. What they are doing is pushing the victim down into somewhere between conscious and subconscious theta state, 4 to 7 hertz, where he is immobilized with no energy to hardly move or open his eyes, but still awake even though it appears he's sleeping. Then they push the victim back into in, artificially into alert state using electromagnetic frequency waves to make it appear that the victim appears to have the energy and that the victim is not suffering from days of no sleep. This makes mind control more effective, as then with each split second remote neural attack, they drop the victim down into almost passing out theta state so he cannot recognize modification of his active memory before pushing him back up a split second later. Energy travels at the speed of light. A split second later into artificial alpha beta state where he is suddenly alert again and he has energy again. But that is an illusion as the victim's brain is in a constant state of functional disorientation and cognitive impairment. 2 and 3 dimensional visual verbal entrainments of the most demonic, perverse, and satanic nature imaginable. Anything that reduces a person's energy level and vitality makes that person more susceptible to mind control technologies. The victim is so disoriented and drowsy he cannot recognize modification and fight back against influence. It's crucial for them to keep the brain in a constant state of functional disorientation. The more you deprive someone of sleep, the more likely they are to suffer memory loss, confusion, okay, and sleep and altering of it's called sleep deprivation torture and altering sleep cycle tortures of stream altering of sleep cycles torture stream of electro low frequency waves extremely low frequency waves. I'm sorry. Days of little to no sleep followed by long sleep repeat process is how CIA mind control neural programming is reinforced. And I thank you for watching this today. Been getting bombarded with uh, voices and stuff lately, but I'm trying to ignore them. Also, if you start hearing thoughts of going and committing violence and stuff, don't do it. It's a trick. We're trying to make you a Manchurian candidate, so don't go for that. Sorry for that beeping in the background. That was the dishwasher, and it just got done. So anyway, God bless y'all. I hope y'all have the best weekend you can have.